Good Sunday morning, everybody. Red Sox collector Dan McGraw here. Just wanted to come today with a different kind of video. I typically just do mail day videos and talk about the items that I get in the mail for my collection. I did get a lot of stuff in yesterday. I'm not going to show everything today because there was two Beckett orders that totaled about 120 or so cards, and then I had a couple of eBay auctions that came in as well. Some 99-cent free shipping stuff, a lot of 2020 Topps Gold Star cards, and a couple of relic cards and parallels from Panini in an order. But today I'm going to kind of incorporate those into this video. But today I wanted to talk about what I do when I get cards in. Now, as you know, I'm a huge Red Sox collector. I have a spreadsheet for every major category of collectibles in my collection, and I'm going to be adding more to that. Right now for cards, I have a basic spreadsheet that has all of my base and parallel cards on a spreadsheet, and then I have a separate tab for insert cards. Then I have a separate spreadsheet which has all of my certified autograph cards that I keep in my display cases out in the other room. And then I have a separate spreadsheet for all of my certified autograph cards of lesser players, rookies that never panned out, lesser known Red Sox players, cards that really don't have a ton of value, but they're different cards in my collection. So I keep those in a binder, and I have a separate spreadsheet for that. I also have a separate spreadsheet for all of my relic cards, and relic cards, in my opinion, include things like Top Silk cards, commemorative patch cards, bat knob cards, coin cards, stamp cards, anything like that that has some sort of a relic of some sort on it. It doesn't have to be a game-used piece or anything like that, but that is how I categorize all of those. So I have separate spreadsheets for all of those items within my card collection. Currently, I have a separate spreadsheet for all of my autographed baseballs and photos, and I also have a separate spreadsheet for all of my magazines and publications. That is where I'm at right now. Those are the things that have the most quantity for me. Eventually, I will do a bobblehead one, a poster, a pennant, pins. There's so many different categories of other figures, McFarlane's starting lineups, all of those things. Eventually, I'm going to get onto spreadsheets so that I can kind of come up with an insurance list. God forbid if anything happened to my home or my collection. So that is how I typically separate everything. Now, I still think I'm a disorganized mess, but I know a lot of you out there would think the exact opposite. Like, I wish I had your organization. I wish I could take the time to kind of separate everything and come up with lists. And of course, I have my want lists also that I have a Google spreadsheet of, and I have a binder that I keep a hard copy of, which I update. So those are the different ways that I organize my cards on media and paper. And as far as the organization of the actual collectibles themselves, as you can see, I have things hung on the walls. I have a 1,000-square-foot basement that's nothing but Red Sox stuff except for a small bathroom, which I have not, as of yet, decorated in any Red Sox paraphernalia. Trying to avoid that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show what I do when I get an order in from eBay or a Beckett order or a Sportlots order or ComC or anything that I get in the mail that adds to my Red Sox collection. So today I'm gonna talk about cards because my entire mail day yesterday was cards. I do have some memorabilia coming. I have a couple autographed baseballs. I have some publications. I have a few different things coming. So today I'm gonna focus on the card aspect of it. So hopefully you guys will get some good tips and information from this and ways that maybe you can organize your collection better. This is how I find. This is my process of, from the time I get a card to when it's finally filed away in a binder or protective sleeve or, in one of my display cases in the other room. So, all right. So basically, I'm just going to start out with these cards right here. This was a lot of 2020 Topps Gold Star cards. It's the team set. Something different that Topps is doing this year. Not to be confused with regular gold. They do have little stars. I don't know if these are factory set cards or what they are exactly, but I've seen several sets up for bid. I got this one for $1 with shipping, really cheap. So they're not overly expensive right now. So what I will first do, and I apologize because I have not been able to figure out how to share screens on my YouTube screen, so I can't share my spreadsheet with you, but I can kind of explain it as I go along. So just bear with me. If you think this is going to be long, boring, and tedious and mind-numbing, just shut me off now. No offense taken. I just like to share these things with people. So, and Sunday morning is a good time to do that because I have a little bit of time. So the first thing I will do, typically when I order from Beckett or Sport Lots or ComC, I get an invoice. I'll get an invoice with a list of all the cards. And what I do now is the first thing that I do, so that I don't forget, because I forget oftentimes. It's like the first thing I should do, but it's always the thing that after the fact, I'm like, oh, I know I have this card. I'll be going through my list, putting orders together or searching for cards, and I'll be like, geez, I'm almost positive I have this card. I think I just got it. Oh, excuse me. So now my new system is take the invoice, if you get one, and I go through my want list. Now, this is my binder of all my want lists right now. Now, I keep them in protective sleeves because I find that turning the pages over and over, the pages rip when you just put, standard 3-ring binder holes in them. Let me just take a page out to show you. For example, this is the earliest list that I have. This starts at 1949 moment. And as you can see, there's one item that I just got the other day that's crossed off. I have not really focused on these particular years. I'll kind of zoom in on that a little bit. And what I do front and back. And when I get a card, the first thing I try to do is pull the sheet out and cross it off. Simple concept. That way I'm keeping track of everything that I have, and my want list stays accurate. Now, I'm guilty of not doing this all the time. Like I said, these orders I got in yesterday, that's all I've done with them so far. I went through already and crossed them all off my want list. Now, I know when I go to put some of these cards away, I'm going to realize I already have them because I slacked on this before. And when I'm buying them, I'm like, geez, I think I bought this card already. I don't take the time to go back and look. It's not worth the extra time as far as I'm concerned. If I get duplicates, I get duplicates. So that's the first thing that I do when I get cards in the mail. And that's my process right now. Then what I do is I keep these spreadsheets. I go through the cards. I make sure that the order is accurate. Now, obviously, if there's something missing from the order, I usually skim them first because most sellers are really good about circling or putting a note on there that says, didn't have, and they usually throw cash back in the envelope, for whatever you paid for the item. So if it's a $1.50 card, I've had, most of the time they just throw $2 back in. If it's a 50-cent card, they throw $1 back in. So I always make sure that they're accurate, and I go through the cards, make sure everything's on there. I check them off and make sure that that's accurate. Now, if there's any discrepancies, I'll go back into my want list and kind of recircle. I don't use like a Sharpie or a black, permanent marker. I use just pen, so it's easy enough to go back and circle it and put a little note. Hey, I still need this one. So I do that next, and then what I do after that is I take the cards and I enter them onto whatever spreadsheet they go onto. Now, for example, those Topps Gold Star cards would go on my base and parallel spreadsheet. That is how I normally list those. And let me just click on it right now. You won't be able to see it, but right now I'm at 24,104 cards different on that spreadsheet. I know that I'm missing some stuff on there. I know a lot of 2020 stuff is missing. It's not 100% accurate. It's probably off by a couple hundred cards, if I have to say. I'm not going back through all my cards. Remember, if you follow me, I had some spreadsheet issues with them getting lost, and I had some cards come in the meantime that never got onto the spreadsheet. So I know it's not accurate, but a nice number, nevertheless, to have. I know it's higher than that. How much higher, I don't know, but that's where I go to after that. I'll type in all the cards. Now, what I keep on my spreadsheet is I keep the year, the company, and then the brand, so to speak. So if it's Topps Inception, I'll put Topps Inception. If it's a parallel card, I'll put gold. I'll put red border, sparkle border, diamond anniversary, depending on what the card it is, the year, if it's a sepia refractor, if it's a regular refractor, gold refractor, red, white, and blue prism. Whatever it happens to be goes in the next column. And after that, I put the player name, then the card number, and if it's serial numbered, I usually try to put the serial number on there. If I've already put the cards away before I've done that, I'll just put what the print run is. So, for example, if it's a 2020 Topps Gold card, I'll just put 2020, so I know what the print run is. I don't put values because values are very subjective. I don't believe in doing that, and it's so time consuming. I'm trying to look up every card, and if I wanted values, I do it on Beckett and Subscribe, but their values are so inaccurate that it's not even worth it. It's not worth spending money on that feature. So I definitely, that's how I get them listed into the collection. And then what I do is I then sort them by year because all of my cards are in binders separated by years. Now, the only ones that have multiple years in them right now are my early 80s cards, early to late 80s. I think I go as far as 1990, where I have like 89 and 90 in one binder, 87, 88 in one binder, 85, 86 in one binder, because there aren't as many cards, so I can fit them comfortably into a binder. Now, most everything from 1998, I believe, up has 2 binders, and some are pushing 3 binders at this point because I don't like them being like this. I like them being like this. 60 to 70 pages per binder. That way they're not jammed up in there and they're easier to flip through. As I do want lists, I alphabetize them according to trading card databases checklists. That's how I do it. And then that's how they go. I'm in the process of labeling them right now, because relabeling them, I should say. Most of them have labels on them, but I've split books because they've been getting a little bit too thick. So I've been splitting books up, and I'm in the process of relabeling everything right now and getting everything back on the shelf. I have binders all over the place. On the floor behind me, in the other room on top of my display cases. It's a mess out there. I'm working on it. I swear I'll get a video one of these days. I know I've been talking about this for 3-4 months, but it will happen. So then basically, after I sort the cards, then I go back in and I put them into their appropriate spots in their binders. Now, I keep spots in the binders for all the cards that I'm missing. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm starting to realize that I was in a little bit of a hurry, I guess, putting some of these cards away in the past, and I didn't put them in numerically. So as I get cards for sets that I realize are out of order, I will fix them. I don't go back through and change them all now. And it's not a ton of sets. It might be things that I didn't have any cards for, and I didn't have a checklist handy, and I just put them in anywhere in the book, and then I try to keep them, leave the spaces for the ones that I don't have, which is another part of my organization that a lot of people don't take the time to do. They'll just put them in a page, and it's costly doing them in binders, honestly. I mean, there's 14 per shelf out there. I'm going to be pretty close to 4 full shelves, maybe 5. So I have I'll have close to 50 to 55 binders out there. At an average cost of probably about $6 a piece, because I bought them when they were $4.99, and now that they're like $8.95, so probably closer to like $6.50 to $7 a piece on the average. And then a box of pages now is like $16 for 100 pages. So just think, if every book averages about 80 pages per book, that's about 4,000 pages. So that's 40 boxes at probably $15 a box. That's another $600. It's costly. It's not all at once, fortunately, but if you look back at the money I've spent on binders and pages and supplies and top loaders and everything else over the years, it's in the thousands of dollars. But it truly is worth it in the long haul when you're a collector like I am, because you can just flip through the books. Other people do it different. I'm sure people just keep shoe boxes or whatever, and they separate them by year and they put them in sleeves or whatever. That's what I'm going to do with my duplicate cards. Once I finally get to tackle that, that's still probably a ways away. But that's how I like to keep my stuff organized. And I find it's easier when you get new things to put them away and keep it, so that it's quick for viewing. And if you ever want to show it to people, they can just flip through the binders. So that's how I do it. That's how I do my regular base cards. Now, I won't talk more about other things on this video because it's simply already at 14 minutes, and I hope I'm not boring everybody. I think that my methods are very effective for me. I enjoy it. It helps me to keep my collection organized, and with a collection my size, it's important that I do that. I'm pretty good about looking at any card in any year without looking at my want list and saying, I don't have that card, especially oddball cards and parallel cards. Base cards, not so much. I'm finding base cards still that I'm like, really? I don't have this card? I mean, basic 2000, I found a 2004 Topps card on my list. I'm like, wow, I guess I'll pick that one up. But yeah, I'm pretty good at that. But my organization and my lists and everything else allow me to go back and really be accurate and check on things. And honestly, I get a little lazy when I'm doing the want lists. If it's a set of, I have one card of like a black card from Tops, for example, that are numbered anywhere from like 54 to 67 or whatever they're at now when they make those cards. If I only have one card, I'll put it on my want list and say 2008 Tops Black, have Papelbon. I'm not going to list the other 23 that I don't have because these are not common cards and I'm not going to pick them up at a very, quick rate. So I kind of use my own, thought process and brains when it comes to, checklisting and want listing those types of cards. Overall, I can go back after the fact and just double check. If a card comes up cheap, I'll just double check it before I buy it. Hey, do I have this one? No, I have this card. I don't have any of the other ones. So that's how I do it. Again, I'm at almost 16 minutes. I will stop now. I just thought this information might be useful to some of you guys out there who are looking for ways to organize your collection that work best for you. Again, if you do it my way and you have a lot of cards already and you try to change over, it's going to be costly with the cost of binders and pages and everything's gone up. I mean, I am way behind on putting my certified autograph cards in mag holders. I probably need like 75 mag holders, and my local shop has been sold out for like the last 2 months. They got nothing. I had to order 1,600 count boxes through the mail. I got them probably for half of what I paid at the hobby shop, though, with free shipping. So I got a really good deal. Those are still sitting out there because those are from my duplicates. So anyway, that's what I have. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope you get something out of it. And if you have ideas for me that might simplify my process, feel free to share. I'm always interested in learning from other people as well. I don't claim to be an expert on this. This is just what works for me. So hope everybody enjoys your Sunday. And again, feel free to comment. If you disagree with how I do it, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. I like sharing ideas with people. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your day and take care.